Welcome to the deep dive. We plunge headfirst into a stack of sources to pull out insights you need, often finding some surprises along the way.
We certainly do.
Today, we're looking at this really intense survival exam on an uninhabited island. Physical endurance is, like, just the starting point.
Right. The real game here, we found, is all about strategy, who knows what, and, well, a lot of hidden agendas.
Our sources give us this incredibly detailed narrative, dropping us right into the minds of these students in what looks like a structured but brutally competitive school exam.
It's fascinating, almost like a clinical look at how people react under extreme pressure.
Exactly. So our mission today, peel back those layers, we'll unpack the rules. They're pretty intricate look at the strategies these kids come up with, some brilliant, some ruthless.
And expose the deception and personal motives running underneath it all.
Because even when a challenge seems straightforward on paper, you throw people into the mix and suddenly it's incredibly complex, dangerous even. So let's dive in. First up, you really need to get a feel for the setting. This island. It's not just some beach.
No, definitely not. Our sources say it's way bigger than in past exams, purpose-built to push students to their absolute limits.
So lots of obstacles, not many easy paths, hills up to 300 meters.
Exactly. Just surviving for 2 weeks is a massive challenge in itself, and the potential for things going wrong, for unforeseen stuff, it's high.
And right off the bat, the #1 priority is water.
Oh, absolutely paramount. If you have to buy it on the island, it costs double the normal price. That's 100 points for just half a liter.
Steep. So finding natural sources is key.
Right, and thankfully they provide these water purifier filters. They get rid of like 99.9% of bacteria and parasites, essential for safe drinking.
Makes sense. It's not just finding water, it's doing it smart. What about other gear?
There's a whole range you can get. Tents, fishing rods, food. But the first big strategic choice, your backpack.
Ah, yes, the free choice. From 20 liters up to over 80.
Yeah, it forces you immediately to decide. Are you going for mobility, moving fast with a light pack, or are you loading up for self-sufficiency?
That's a tough trade-off right from the start. Every bit of weight matters out there.
It really does. And that choice shapes your whole approach for the next 2 weeks.
On top of that physical pressure, there's constant monitoring. These watches, they do more than just track points, right?
Way more. They're tracking vitals constantly. Body temp, heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen levels, sleep, even stress levels.
Wow, that's intense. Almost psychological pressure, too.
It is, and there's an alert system. It starts with warning alerts, getting louder if your vitals stay off.
And if it keeps going.
Then you get a continuous emergency alert. If that happens, you have to get back to the starting point for a medical check within 24 hours. Ignore it, and you face penalties, maybe even elimination.
And if you ignore that for just 5 minutes.
Faculty and medics are dispatched straight to your GPS location. There's really no hiding.
So you're always being watched, basically. What if the watch just breaks?
No penalty for a broken watch, interestingly, but you can't earn any points.
Ah, so it effectively takes you out of the competition anyway, because points are everything.
Absolutely. That's the whole game. And there are 2 main ways to get them. First, the basic movement system.
Okay, how does that work?
So designated destination areas pop up on the watch 3 or 4 times a day. You have a specific 2-hour window to get there, like 7 to 9 a.m. or 1 to 3 p.m.
Standard enough, but I feel there's a catch.
There is. The tables. Each watch have one of 12 internal tables, and each table dictates a totally unique sequence of destinations for that group.
Ah, I see. So my group might need to go north, while your group needs to go southeast.
Exactly. It makes large-scale collaboration on this system virtually impossible. Very clever design.
And if you miss your destination?
Miss 3 in a row, you get penalized. But the counter resets if you make it to the next one. Plus, there's an early bird bonus for the first group to arrive. Adds a little extra spice.
Keep everyone moving and competing. What's the second way to get points?
The tasks system. These offer points, sometimes food, but also something really crucial, the ability to increase your maximum group size.
Oh, interesting. How does that work?
First place in a task gets to add 3 members, second place adds 2, third adds 1, up to a max group size of 6.
That could be a game changer. How do you find these tasks?
They're announced on tablets, but savvy students might discover them early. The catch is there's a maximum number of participants for each task.
So you could race to a task location and find it's already full.
Exactly. Effort totally wasted. We see examples like an English test, build a fire, which apparently not many tried because they lacked the skill grip strength. even a high-point trivia test.
It's a real mix of skills needed.
Definitely. And importantly, for water, there are 14 specific water supply tasks. 8 of those are competitive, 6 aren't.
Ah, so that guarantees everyone has some way to secure safe water, even if they aren't winning the competitive tasks. Smart safety net.
Precisely. It prevents a total collapse for less skilled students just because they couldn't find water.
And you mentioned tablets. They do more than just announce tasks.
Oh, yeah. Information warfare is key here. From day 6, you unlock a GPS search function.
You can see where other students are.
For 1 point per search, yes. You can imagine how that changes things. Real-time intel.
Absolutely. Suddenly you can track rivals, find potential allies, or avoid people.
And the tablets also show the top 10 and bottom 10 group rankings from day 4. Not the first few days or the last couple, but crucial info mid-game.
So you know who's doing well and who's struggling.
Right. Plus, they get school messages, and the battery lasts about 8 hours with the map on constantly, rechargeable at certain spots.
So it's not just physical, it's managing resources, managing information, outthinking everyone else.
That's the core of it. It's a mental game as much as a physical one.
Okay, so with those rules in mind, let's talk strategy. How do these students actually tackle this beast? We see some really different approaches.
We really do. Take the protagonist,
Yeah.
Ayanokouji. His approach on day 1 is very observant, methodical. He watches first.
Then picks up the pace.
Yeah, gradually starts hitting designated areas, doing tasks. He knows going solo is risky, but he also values that independence.
Then there's this character, Koenji, described as an aloof child prodigy.
Oh, he's something else. Unfathomable potential is the phrase used. He just dominates challenges seemingly without effort.
Like the tug of war you mentioned against Ayanokouji.
Yeah, he holds his own with apparently no strain. Or a swimming race where he finishes barely winded after intense exertion. He just operates differently. Other groups see him as a major threat.
So not just physical power, but maybe efficiency or just raw talent.
Hard to say exactly, but it's not just about being the strongest either. Experience matters.
Like in that beach flags task,
Yeah.
where a lack of experience was decisive.
Right. But then you also see students like Nanej just pushing through sheer willpower,
Yeah.
even when exhausted. Mental toughness is huge.
It gotta be. What about groups? How do they function or dysfunction?
Well, group dynamics are fascinating. You've got Ike, for instance. He's struggling emotionally, maybe a crush or something, and it's dragging his group down initially.
But then Nana steps in.
Kind of accidentally, yeah. Her intervention somehow snaps him out of it, motivates him, shows how personal issues and group morale are totally linked.
And then there's Ichinose's group doing something completely different.
Yeah, they basically become the caterers for their entire class, focusing on getting food, grilling it up, sharing it with Class 2C.
Like a support unit. That's unusual in this kind of competition.
Very unusual. It redefines teamwork in this context, but not everyone is playing nice.
No, I imagine not. Let's talk power plays. Nagumo, the third year.
He's already leading, and his plan is pure calculation. Use the task rewards to max out his group size to 6.
Why? Just more points.
Not just that, his stated goal is to build such a commanding lead that he effectively prevents any other grade from even getting near the podium. It's about total dominance for his year.
Ruthless. But then we also see unexpected cooperation.
We do. Ayanokouji actually manages to form temporary alliances with rivals like Ruin.
Ruan. Really,
Wait.
despite their history.
Surprisingly, yes. Turns out Ryuan is willing to cooperate strategically to protect his own classmates from getting expelled.
So shared threat overrides personal beef. Temporarily, anyway.
Seems like it. And even Sakiyanagi, another rival, figures out what Ayanokouji needs almost before he asks. It shows that sometimes common problems force enemies to work together, even briefly.
So strategy, talent, weird group dynamics, power plays. But beneath all that, there's darker stuff going on. Deception, right? Revenge.
Yeah, this is where it's really murky. The exam isn't just about points, it's a stage for hidden agendas. It starts with something initially dismissed as an accident.
The entries to Komiya and Kinoshita from Class 2B, triggered by an emergency alert.
Right. Their teammate Shinohara insists someone pushed them, but the teachers check the GPS logs.
And only her signal was there.
Only hers. So the official conclusion from the school staff: unfortunate accident, unavoidable elimination for the injured two, case closed.
But Ayanokouji didn't buy it.
Not for a second. His intuition screamed something was wrong. He very discreetly asks one of the teachers, Chabashira, to look into it more. He suspects foul play.
And that suspicion points towards a much larger scheme.
Hmm?
involving the acting director.
Exactly. Tsukishiro. Our sources reveal his hidden goal: get Ayanokouji expelled, possibly as a favor or gift to Ayanokouji's powerful, estranged father.
Wow, so this whole island exam is just a pretext for him.
It seems like a key part of his plan, yeah. This goes way beyond school competition. It's personal, political, maybe.
And Ichino's accidentally finds out.
Yeah, she overhears Tsukishiro talking with another teacher, Shiba-sensei. Hears things she was never meant to hear.
How does Tsukishiro react?
With this unsettling little grin. He lets her go, but dismisses it as an unexpected setback. It's chillingly casual, shows how high the stakes are and how dangerous just knowing something can be.
This web of deception, it even tangles up Nana's, doesn't it? Her motives seem contradictory.
Extremely. Then she drops this bombshell. She wants revenge on Ayanokouji. She holds him responsible for the downfall of her childhood friend, Matsuo Aigichiro.
Who is the son of Ayanokouji's former butler.
That's complicated.
Deeply. And it explains why she sometimes helps Ayanokouji, sometimes tries to fight him. She even admits she never believed that she was doing the right thing herself. Huge internal conflict there.
And Ayanokouji realizes he might have been manipulated about her too.
Yeah, he starts thinking Tsukishiro might have deliberately fed him false info, suggesting Nanaz was from the White Room.
That mysterious, intense training facility.
Right. To make Ayanokouji focus on her as the main threat, the agent sent to expel him may be distracting him from Tsukishiro's own moves.
So even Ayanokouji, the master strategist, is getting played.
It seems so. And they aren't the only schemers. The environment breeds it. Look at Kushida.
Her true nature gets exposed.
Big time. Amasawa reveals Kushida's real nasty personality. She loves secrets, uses them, and is apparently willing to bring everyone else around you down if she feels cornered. And she's also trying to get Ayanokouji expelled.
Desperately. And after that, she wants to crush Amasawa just for knowing her secrets. It's pure self-preservation turned malicious.
Good grief. And there are more conspiracies?
Oh, yeah. First-year students Yagami and Tsubaki are also plotting against Ayanokouji. Yagami's plan is particularly brazen.
He'll be playing.
Manipulating events, using fake evidence like doctored video of Ayanokouji supposedly pinning Nanaz down, which didn't happen for blackmail.
Fake video evidence, that's next level.
And it gets worse. He apparently intends to eliminate his own allies, Amasawa, Housen, Tsubaki, after he deals with Ayanokouji. All for personal credit, points, status.
Wow, so loyalty means absolutely nothing. It really shows how secrets and self-interest are the real currency here, and how dangerous that currency is.
Extremely dangerous. Everyone seems to be playing multiple angles.
So pulling this all together, what does this deep dive really tell us and tell you, the listener?
Well, I think it shows that even with clear rules, the real challenge is always navigating human nature, the unpredictable parts.
Right. Personal histories, hidden ambitions, revenge. They warp everything. They create these complex, dangerous patterns within the game.
It's a testament to how success in these high-pressure situations isn't just about skill or strategy. It's also about understanding, or at least anticipating, the hidden motives of everyone around you.
And being ready for their darker side to come out when they're pushed.
Exactly. Because the pressure reveals who people really are.
So here's something to think about. In an environment like that, where every move is a risk, and loyalty is flexible, to say the least, how much of your own sense of justice or fairness would you compromise?
Especially facing elimination yourself.
Yeah. How far would you go to win, or just to survive? A tough question, and maybe one that resonates beyond just this story.